our next question, what if our annuity went on forever and if we wanted to receive a certain amount of interest based on a once of fixed deposit? So have you ever thought about, for example, what if I won the lotto and just put the money in an awesome bank account and just lived off the interest? Have you ever thought about that? I definitely have. I think that would be awesome. Well, the awesome thing is, if you have considered that, or if you now have considered that, that's pretty much a perpetuity, which is what we're talking about. So I like to think of it like a perpetual annuity. It's like an annuity that goes on forever. It kind of has like an endless duration. So what a perpetuity is where a fixed amount is placed in the bank. So like me putting my lotto money in the bank, if I ever win, or if I won, or if somebody won, so that would be placing that fixed amount in the bank, or that might be a savings or an inheritance, or that could be any kind of sum of money. So where that fixed amount is placed in the bank, so again, that's our initial deposit, and then the interest is calculated per period, and then the interest is taken out and paid to or withdrawn by the owner. So what we're having here is we've got this lump sum, then interest is earned, and then I take the interest out. Next time period, interest is earned again, and I take out the interest again. So every single time it's coming back to the original value because all I'm doing is taking out the interest again and again. And don't worry, the formulas for perpetuities are much, much simpler. It is simply P equals D divided by I, where P is that initial amount deposited. So for example, that lotto money. D is how much you gain or withdraw every period, and I is the interest rate. And again, we can rearrange this formula to identify a different unknown. So the question that we're looking at here, for example, say we deposit $10,000 into an account gaining 5% interest per annum with semi-annual compounds. What is the semi-annual payment received by the owner? So we're calculating, again, our decimal, we're calculating I here. We've got our decimal rate of interest, 5% per annum, 0.05 divided by 2, because we've got semi-annual compounds, so twice a year. That gives us an I of 0.025. And we know that P, the principal, the amount they initially deposited, was $10,000. So now we can substitute P, $10,000. We don't know D. That's what we're trying to find out. What payment are they going to receive? And we know what I is, 0.025. So what we then do is we can solve and isolate. We can multiply both sides by 0.025. We can solve for D, and that'll give us $250. So that means if we had $10,000 in that perpetuity, in this scenario, that means every 6 months, so twice a year, it would produce $250 of interest. They would take out that interest, and then it would go back to $10,000. Then 6 months later, it would produce another $250 of interest, and then they'd take it out again. So that person is taking out that $250 of interest every 6 months. And so that's how they kind of ended up in this perpetual annuity kind of situation. And we could also rearrange the formula to solve for P or I, depending on the question.